Ricard Siafa bleeds to death on the floor of a narrow alleyway. The men who stab him to death make a quick exit, not looking back at the crime scene. They have just left their victim fighting for his life. No remorse, no regrets, just a blood-stained knife. Minutes later, they are in a pub ordering pints. By the time police arrive, Siafa is already beyond saving. This is not a fight. This is not a moment of rage. This is a coordinated killing, and the cameras capture everything except the blade. This is how Ricard Siafa was hunted, cornered, and murdered in broad daylight, and how the people responsible thought they'd gotten away with it. Croydon is busy that afternoon. Surrey Street is closing down for the day. Market traders pull shutters. Shoppers drift past each other. Nothing looks dangerous. Nothing feels urgent. But danger doesn't announce itself. It blends in. Across the CCTV network, 3 men appear moving together. They are relaxed. They don't look like men about to kill someone. That's the point. Elsewhere, Ricard Siafa enters the frame, 22 years old, alone, unarmed. He walks like someone who expects to get home. For a moment, their paths don't touch. Then they do. CCTV shows Siafa change direction. Not suddenly, not running, but enough to matter. Behind him, the 3 men adjust as well. Not obviously, not dramatically. They let distance shrink. They let pressure build. This is pursuit. And pursuit is never accidental. Siafa moves toward Fellmongers Yard, a narrow alley, brick walls, no clear escape, a space that traps sound, movement, and people. He enters first. Seconds later, the men follow. This is the last moment he is seen alive. Inside the alley, the cameras go blind. But the timeline does not. Less than 30 seconds later, the men run back out, together, frantic, controlled, no remorse, no regrets. They do not look behind them. They do not check the ground. They do not stop. Inside the alley, Ricard Siafa collapses. Blood spreads across concrete. People nearby hear shouting. Someone runs in. Then another. Emergency services are called. Police arrive. Paramedics arrive. An air ambulance lands. Doctors fight for a life that is already slipping away. At 6:28 p.m., Ricard Siafa is pronounced dead at the scene. The cause is 13 stab wounds. 2 of them are deep. One is to the chest. Another collapses a lung. Blood loss is catastrophic. This is not a single strike. This is sustained violence. A murder investigation begins immediately. Detectives name it Operation Biscuit. They don't start with suspects. They start with movement. They rewind the city, every camera, every street corner. They build the timeline backwards and forwards from Fellmongers Yard. What they see is chilling. The men do not flee after the killing. They do not scatter. They walk directly to a nearby pub, the Spread Eagle. Inside, CCTV shows them ordering 3 pints of Guinness. They pay with a £20 note. They sit down. They drink. The glasses are not finished. This detail matters because it shows time, because it shows composure, because it shows control. Bar staff later ask them to remove their hats. They comply, and they leave. They do not call emergency services. They do not speak to anyone about the alley. They walk away. Cameras pick them up again later. This time, their appearance has changed. Outer clothing has gone. Items visible earlier are no longer visible. Changing clothes isn't illegal. But after a fatal stabbing, it tells a story. It tells investigators these 3 men understood exactly what they had done. Police identify them as David Walcott and Raman Molly. A 3rd man, Jordan Vincent, is also named. Walcott is arrested. He tells officers he's not a murderer. Molly leaves the country for days after the killing. He boards a flight. He does not go to police. He does not come forward. On May 5th, he returns. He is arrested at Gatwick Airport. Vincent does not return. He remains wanted. At trial, the jury never sees the stabbing itself. They don't need to. They see everything else. The pursuit, the alley, the calm exit, the pub, the clothing changes, the lack of panic. They hear from witnesses, from paramedics, from pathologists. Medical evidence confirms the injury and timing. Everything fits. The defense points to what's missing. The prosecution points to what's undeniable. The jury deliberates. Their verdicts are unanimous. Guilty of murder. In English law, murder means life. The judge sets the minimum term. A knife, a public place, a confined alley, coordinated movement. Each factor pushes the sentence higher. David Walcott is sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 27 years. Raman Molly receives the same. Decades will pass before release is even considered. Ricard Siafa will never reach 20. Outside the courtroom, Croydon moves on. The market opens again. The pub serves drinks. Fellmongers Yard goes quiet. But the cameras keep watching, because in modern cities, killers don't disappear. They leave patterns, and patterns always tell the truth. Subscribe for daily crime updates.